above all, I think these mini-me's are relevant and are a relevant part of Nicki's longest career hiatus to date. And that's not at all because she's running scared or she's intimidated, but literally quite the opposite. I think she is aware of the fact that she is the inspiration for these girls. She is the leading light, but at the same time, she's a rapper. So I feel like Nicki has possibly or definitely held her back from baring her full teeth. And I think the world has forgotten quite what this woman is capable of. And I just think if Nicki just does decide that she wants blood and she wants to remind everybody that they are her sons, like an episode of Maury, then it's over for bitches. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to No Ghostwriter. Follow no_ghostwriter on Instagram and Twitter for 24/7 rap and hip hop talk. And make sure that you leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about today. And today we're talking about Nicki Minaj and why she's on hiatus again, and why this is the longest hiatus she's ever had in her career. If that sounds like something that you want to see, then stick around and keep watching this video. April 2021 marks Nicki Minaj's longest career hiatus to date. The 20th of April officially marked 101 days since Nicki Minaj released music. And she hasn't had a career hiatus this long since her infamous hiatus back in 2017. So why has Nicki Minaj been on a hiatus for so long? She's taken social media hiatuses that coincide with when she's released music before, but often she's broken them to promote a new release or something that she has been contractually obligated to promote. But this time she hasn't come back, and a lot of people are wondering why. A lot of people are feeling Nicki's absence. Every time she takes a break, the game be so boring. So let's get into it. So there are lots of obvious reasons why Nicki is on hiatus. First of all, she just had a baby and she has been prioritizing taking care of him as she should. I don't think that there's much to explain about why a new mother would want to take a break from her career to look after her child. So that is a big factor, and I personally think the most important factor behind Nicki's ongoing hiatus. Frankly, she's never had a baby before. I know all these bitches are her sons, but other than raising all of them, she had never raised kids of her own. So this is the first time that she is embracing being a mother, and Nicki has talked about wanting to be a mother a lot throughout her music. Although she hasn't spoken on it publicly because she is intensely private when it comes to these kinds of things, she has been dealing with multiple close personal deaths, including the death of a close personal friend and also her father in a hit and run incident. I don't need to explain or justify why death is a reason for somebody not prioritizing an album rollout. And I think sometimes there is a lack of empathy from fans and from hip-hop commentators, both in relation to what it takes for an artist to put out an album and also the personal sacrifice that goes into ensuring an album rollout is A1. And I think that we've had a lot of different conversations about mental health in the rap and hip-hop community, but I think we need to remember that there are bigger things than getting a new album out. And this may be part of why Nicki's taken the longest hiatus so far. Now let's look at what factors in the hip-hop market and the current state of the game can explain why Nicki's also on her longest career hiatus. So I think, first of all, a really important point is that Nicki has literally hundreds of mini-me's from all around the world who are biting her sound, style, and hoping they can be her. And it's created a really strange environment for the woman who birthed this entire generation of female rappers. And I don't mean that in a way to say that these women shouldn't be making music. I actually really like the fact that they are, and that they are, you know, in such a large number. It's just that I don't know whether they notice that they are literally copying Nicki, like word for word, inch for inch, outfit for outfit. Why can't you do your thing? And so the environment that's created for the originator, for Nicki, she actually like has to deal with this in a way that I don't think any other, you know, female rapper that is comparable to her in terms of impact. Definitely no one is in terms of career longevity, but in terms of impact, none of them have had to deal with this. I think if you look at Drake, Wayne, maybe Jay-Z to an extent, you know, they've got mini-me's, and we're all quite aware of their mini-me's. I think the way Drake tackled his mini-me's was by his versatility. You know, luckily for Drake, he's got a lot of things he can do. He's got a lot of, you know, connections in different cultures. He's able to switch up his sound. I would hazard a guess and say Wayne, I don't know how well Wayne dealt with all of his mini-me's. You know, everything is Lil something. I don't know whether Wayne really managed to assert his dominance over his sons in the way I think Drake did. And with Nicki, in her case, you know, I feel like she gets one arm tied behind her back, because on the one hand, people want to see her compete and they know that she's the best out there, but they also, you know, give her a spoon for a gunfight, because they tie one arm behind her back and they say, oh, but you can't diss anybody. Oh, and you can't say you're better than anybody. Oh, and it's not fair because, you know, at least this person has a good TikTok dance. Like, no, like Nicki says herself, make it even, make it fair, and she'll always win. And I think it's a really interesting point in her career, because, you know, now is the time, I think, for the reckoning, for Nicki to show, like, look, I created a whole culture and I can do it again. I want to make an additional point here and actually say Nicki has done really well in terms of her crossover into Latin music. Her collaboration with Tusa has broken international records. So Nicki has shown very well that she can easily do Latin crossover collaborations, and she killed Crippy Kush remix. So, you know, it's an exciting time to be Nicki Minaj, in my view. But at the same time, she doesn't have to, for all the things that we discussed at the first part of this video. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's a legend. She'll do this if she wants, and if she doesn't, I won't care. Like, if NM5 is just the sound of Nicki changing her son's nappies, I don't see the issue. I will be buying multiple copies and streaming multiple times. It's an interesting time in the hip-hop genre, and I think it would be really interesting to see Nicki deal with all of these mini-me's. But above all, I think these mini-me's are relevant and are a relevant part of Nicki's longest career hiatus to date. And that's not at all because she's running scared or she's intimidated, but literally quite the opposite. I think she is aware of the fact that she is the inspiration for these girls. She is the leading light, but at the same time, she's a rapper. So I feel like Nicki has possibly, or definitely, held her back from baring her full teeth. And I think the world has forgotten quite what this woman is capable of. And I just think if Nicki does decide that she wants blood and she wants to remind everybody that they are her sons, like an episode of Maury, then it's over for bitches. So another point that goes alongside the relevance of the mini-me factor, in my opinion, is just the fact that modern rap right now sounds terrible. And I don't mean to be like a proper boomer and be like, oh yeah, the the new hip hop is bad. I don't understand what they're saying. Like, no, but truthfully, I don't understand what some of them are saying. But it's just bad to me because the content isn't there. The lyrical content isn't there, I mean. And I know Nicki has spoken on Big Fendi's podcast, and she's talked about this a lot, even in her music. She doesn't want to dumb down her content for TikTok. She doesn't want to create music that fits the wave. And I don't think Nicki is alone. I think a lot of artists are very aware right now of the significance of TikTok and these content platforms. And it's changed the game in a lot of ways, but it's also made everything exactly the same in a lot of ways. But the main point with TikTok is that this whole era that we're in is not necessarily something that Nicki finds challenging, because a lot of her old content, I mean, pretty much her entire catalog keeps trending on TikTok, because as we know, Nicki's flow, her delivery, it's punchy. Nicki can kill in 30 seconds or less. So she is perfect for content sharing platforms like TikTok, where it's 30, 60 seconds, because Nicki can get you hooked from her lip dubs alone, because people will be lip syncing over her raps and adding an extra layer of complexity to their content by virtue of including Nicki Minaj. And that is power, that is relevance, that is a digital brand. That is why, you know, it's not a challenge for her music to do well on these apps. But I think the thing with Nicki, the thing that's her USP, is she creates from an organic place. And because she creates from an organic place, she doesn't need to jump for a trend. And I think that perhaps what we could be seeing with this career hiatus is a form of caution from her. You know, maybe she's even saying, or at least showing through her actions and other legends who are moving similarly, that it's not about the quick bag, it's about the quality. And I think that focus on making quality music is really something that has dominated a lot of conversations recently around rap and hip hop, for those reasons I said at the beginning of this section, because the music quality isn't there, but the clout is there. So now it's clout over quality. And Nicki has integrity, you know, like she says in Win Again, this shit ain't got no more integrity. Don't write their raps and plus they flow shitty. Don't make me expose you, bitch, I'm too busy. You know, this is what she's always said. She's got integrity, and that could be why we're seeing her on such a long hiatus during this kind of era and this kind of hip-hop market. And last but not least, a relevant factor that I think may explain part of why she was on hiatus. I don't think it completely applies anymore to the same extent, but Nicki was subject to radio blackballing. So her music was not being played on radio. It was a well-documented thing. It has been well documented. And check out our videos on No Ghostwriter on blackballing in hip hop, how it's happened, and proof that Nicki Minaj was blackballed on radio. And also check out our video on hip hop's Nicki Minaj problem, because we talk about this, and we show receipts for the radio play and all of that. So the significance of that is that radio counts a lot for, you know, chart placements and so on. So if you're not getting radio spins, it's ridiculously hard for you to get chart placements. That's why in the video I did celebrating Say So remix going #1, I said that these are numbers, and also Trolls. Well, I think Trolls more than Say So. When Trolls went #1 especially, this was proof that Nicki can leverage that kind of support without radio. So to conclude, we've talked about possible different factors that could explain why this is Nicki's longest career hiatus. But above all, at the end of the day, Nicki's on hiatus because she can be. She has choice, control, and agency over her career, and that's because she didn't sign a 360, bitch, you wild dumb. You know, Nicki is a queen. And so, queen, when you are ready to return, we are ready to have you. And I want to also mention that some barbs think that her hiatus has stopped the hate train by allowing people to see the agenda. I would invite you to watch my video on the Nicki Minaj hate train, get yourself fully up to speed so you understand, and then come back and comment on this video and tell me what you think. Do you think Nicki Minaj's hiatus has impacted her hate train? Do you think that's the reason why arguably the hate train era is over? Let me know. Tell me whether you think the hate train era is over and whether you think Nicki's hiatus has contributed. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe, and follow no_ghostwriter on Twitter and Instagram for 24/7 rap and hip hop talk. Peace out.